Hi, this is Shramona Bhattacharya. Here you can see the Python code that I have made in order to complete task 1, which was making a fake news detecting system. So I'm an intern here under the DaveStack Data Science ML Student Internship Program. So as a part of this task, I have created this Python code. I've also posted the link on GitHub, which you can refer to. Okay, so I'll just go forward with the code and explain what I've done here. The data set that was provided was news.csv, and the data set kind of looks like this. It has a title, text, label, which is fake or real, that is the news is fake or real. So we'll work with this text column because that is what we can use to classify or ultimately make a model that will help us to make a fake news detecting system. Alright. And before I move forward, there are certain other rows like this example 260 to 300 rows, like the row, this is the index that I have tried to print out in order to show that the dataset also has certain rows which are completely empty, that is only has NaN values, and rows that do not have a classification, that is a label does not have a classification, and the text is also scattered across different columns. Therefore, these particular type or sub part of the data set cannot be used for building up any model, but they can be used to uh, after the model is built up, I can use the model to predict whether these particular texts are fake or real, right? So I'll use it as I go forward with the code. So first imports, the required imports are done. The thing that I've used here, the main thing is the Natural Language Toolkit, which is a leading platform, NLTK, that is a leading platform which helps to make Python programs to work with human language data. We know Pandas, which is used for data manipulation and analysis. RE, that is for regular expression matching operations. So from sklearn.featureextraction.txt we have imported TF-ID vectorizer. Okay, now this TF-IDF, it stands for term frequency inverse document frequency, which is one of the most important techniques used for information retrieval to represent how important a specific word or phrase is to a given document. Okay, so that is important because we'll be using ultimately this particular TF-ID vectorizer to convert our text to numerical form so that the computer can read and fit a model to that particular data. Okay, and yes, so we have read the CSV file in the data frame, the data frame named data. Okay, yeah, fine, I've already shown this. The shape of, initially you can see the shape of this data is 779 rows and 141 columns, where most of these columns are unnamed. Okay, we don't need them and we'll have to clean this data set. Therefore, in order to fit a model, I'll only consider the labeled data set that has already been classified into real and fake. So it is stored in this DF data frame, and here is a percentage of real and fake present in that DF data set. That is 50% almost for both, so it's kind of a balanced data set. The histogram also shows the same thing. As I showed before, that there are certain null values for, like, the entire row is null, as you can see here. Not this, yeah, not this one. Here, as you can see in the row number 260, it's completely null. We don't need such rows. They're useless. Therefore, they will have to be dropped. And this particular thing is done through this drop NA. And now you can see that, yeah, such rows have been dropped. There has also been certain text values. There are certain text values which have only spaces in them. Like for example, in row number 106, it's completely space, and we don't need that also. What we can do is that instead of completely dropping such rows, we can replace the text column with the title column. How to do that? To identify such texts as in row number 106 and replace them, or rather we will have to create another column, or I have created another column in the DF dataset, that is empty, which is returning a true or a false value, or which is storing a true or a false value based on this function empty that I've created here. So this is space thing, or this is space will actually return a true or a false value. If the text is empty, it will return true. If it's not, it will return false. Okay. So from here we can see that there are 36 such empty texts we have. And those texts are replaced by the corresponding title with the help of this for loop. You can see how it looks now, somewhat like this. Okay. Now we don't need the empty column anymore. We have treated our data with it, and now we can drop this empty column. We don't need it, so that our shape comes up to 6315 rows now we have, and 4 columns to deal with. The next step is that we will now deal with the unlabeled dataset that has not been classified into real and fake. What we do with that, so first let's store the thing into df new and drop all the null values. Here there were NAs as we have seen before, so we will drop them and it will kind of look like this. Now our next work is to join these texts which are scattered across various columns and make it a single text, which is done here and stored in df1. Okay, so this iloc will extract the rows from this particular df new data set, and they will store them in df1. Therefore df1 data set looks like this. We don't want this new line characters, they are replaced with spaces. This df1 data set, it has certain texts that are completely, they have no value, that is this. Their length is also 0. We don't want them as well. Therefore what is done is that those particular rows are dropped. They're useless. So see here, 106th row was such an empty text and it has been dropped. Therefore it only displays 107 to 120. The pre-processing of the data. This pre-processing, what it is the process of converting data to something that a computer can understand, as I was saying. That is referred to as the pre-processing of the data. So what is the major form? One of the major forms of this pre-processing of the data is to filter out the useless data. Okay. And in natural language processing, the useless words or the data, they are referred to as stop words. That's what we have done here. String dot punctuation, I'll later on use this, and then I'll come back to this and show why have I printed this out. Okay. Coming to the stop words, so the stop words are useless words in text. Okay. And we don't need those stop words anymore. What are these stop words? I've printed it out so that we can all understand what are these stop words. These are I, me, my, myself, etc., etc. So, then, is, all these things. Okay. So these stop words are such words that the search engine has been programmed to ignore them, and we don't need them actually. Okay. So we don't want these words to take up any space in our data set or even take up the valuable processing time. For this we have to remove them. Okay, now how can we do that? We can store such list of words into another variable as we have done here, stop words. This NLTK in Python, it has a list of stop words that has been stored in 16 different languages. Here we have chosen the language English. That's what we will use for our fake news detecting system. Very well. Okay. Now moving forward, we have this stemming. What is stemming? The stemming is another very important process for in order to build up a fake news detecting system. It is the process of producing morphological variants of a root or base words. Stemming programs, they are commonly referred to as stemming algorithms or stemmers. So a stemming algorithm, what it does, it reduces the words, say chocolates, chocolatey, choco, to the root word, that is chocolate. Another example can be to reduce the words retrieval, retrieved, retrieves, and reduce them to retrieve, so that we can only deal with the root word that is important. So this Porter stemmer does that particular job. Here I have defined two functions. One is count punct, another is clean text. So I'll explain what these functions are doing. Here, as I have put in comment, that it is calculating the percentage of punctuations in text. So once we have a text, in order to identify whether the text is giving me fake news or real news, it's very important for me to first put it in such a form so that I can feed it to the machine learning algorithm, or I can fit a model to it. Right, for that I don't need the punctuation marks, I don't need the stop words. I need to split my text into words that are useful, or the words only. I want my text to have the useful words. I don't want the stop words to be there. I don't want any space to be there, or I don't want any punctuation marks to be there. Okay. So this particular function count punct, it actually gives us or returns the percentage punctuation. Okay. So this punct percentage column in DF dataset will give the percentage of punctuation marks that are there in my text. Okay, and the body length column will give the length of the text without the spaces. I don't want the spaces to hamper my length count. Spaces are also useless and the punctuation marks are also useless. Therefore this particular function will count the punctuation marks and store them in this punct percentage column, and body length column will store the length without the spaces. This is done for both labeled and unlabeled dataset. Okay, now what this clean text function does, it will actually return a text after stemming without any punctuation marks or stop words. So if we go one by one, see this particular variable text will first contain those part of the text only if it is a word and it is not a punctuation. Okay, as I said, the string dot punctuation, we are using string dot punctuation. This is what it actually stores, all the punctuations that are possible to be there in a text. The text variable first stores a particular character if or word only if it is an actual word and not a punctuation mark. Tokens, it will split. It will now split the text or string based on a regular expression pattern, mainly its space. Okay, and then the ultimate text that is returned, it is the text without a stop word and without a punctuation. Fine. So the DF data set will look like this with the body length and punctuation percentage, and the DF1 will look like this, which is our unlabeled data set. Okay, now we have, this is coming to the main another part, that is splitting the data set into train and test. We are all aware of this, where y is our dependent variable, x represents our independent variable. Now unlabeled dataset has to be classified, for which I will have to also do the same for my unlabeled dataset, but I need to find out this y for unlabeled dataset. Okay, now as we have already mentioned before that TF-ID vectorizer is very important, which will convert it to numeric form. Here what it does for to convert it into a vectorized form. Okay, so this what it does is that the train text values which are passed, they will be converted to a matrix of TF-IDF features, and then here this particular section of the code, it does a count, transforms a count. This is a count matrix. This particular thing is a count matrix. Here it transforms a count matrix to a normalized TF or TF-IDF representation. Ultimately, this is our vectorized text for train, test, and for the unlabeled dataset that is represented as xvect new. Ultimately, so concatenation is done, which prints something like this: body length, punctuation percentage, along with the vectorized form of the text. Fine. So here comes our model, that is a random forest classifier model. So the model has been fit to the train vector data set, X train vector and Y train. Okay. And the prediction is obtained here on the test vector data set, so that we can understand that how accurately the model could predict. So we can we'll try to get the precision, recall, F score, train support, this accuracy values. Here you can see very high values. All these values are above 90%. Precision is 90.5%, recall 92.9%, F1 score is 91.7%, and accuracy is 91.8%. This confusion matrix gives a very clear picture that it's 0.93 for real for both predicted and true level. When both of them matches real correctly, it predicts 0.93 times, and here it correctly predicts the fake things as 0.91 times, and very less, it's almost near to 0 when there is a wrong prediction. That's why we have high accuracy, precision, recall, and everything. Next, we will also try to see that how this passive aggressive classifier will deal with the data set, whether this particular classifier is better or the one that we used before, random forest classifier, is better. Okay. So this passive aggressive classifier is actually a less used machine learning algorithm, and how it works is that it is passive if the prediction is correct. It will keep the model and will not make any changes. That is, the data in the example is not enough to cause any changes to the model, whereas if it's aggressive, that means the prediction is incorrect. That means it's making certain changes to the model, that is, some change to the model may correct it. Okay, same thing it is done. We will try to get the precision, recall, F score, and the accuracy, and also the confusion matrix. As you can see that we will not be happy with this kind of an accuracy. It's not even 50%. Though the recall is 100%, still the precision, you can see it's 48.8%. F1 score is 65.6%. Okay. So we cannot be very happy with this. So what is this accuracy actually? It is the accuracy is nothing but it is the most intuitive performance measure, that is simply a ratio of correctly predicted observation to the total observations. So higher the accuracy, better is the prediction. Now coming to this precision, what is this precision? So we can see there is this precision, recall, F1 score, and all these things, right? So we'll try to explain that what are these one by one. So first is precision. That is, what is precision? It is a ratio of correctly predicted positive observations to the total predicted positive observations. So out of the total predicted positive observations, how many of them are correctly predicted positive observations? How many of them are actually correct? Here it is only 48.8%, which is very less. Okay. Though the recall is sensitivity that is quite high, or rather it's very high, it's 100%. What is this recall? It is the ratio of correctly predicted positive observations to all the observations in actual class. That is, yes, in this case it can be real. So that is very high, but that is not enough for us because we can see the corresponding other things. Accuracy, precision is not good, right? And F1 score, what is it? It is the weighted average of precision and recall, which is okay here. But since we have got a better model already, that is a random forest classifier, we'll use that only. Here the confusion matrix also, we can see the real it's 1, it's predicting very properly the real ones, but the fake you see it's 0, right? So that which is very poor. Therefore for this random forest classifier is providing far better accuracy, precision, recall, F1 scores and everything, and we finalize that particular classifier for our fake news detecting system, and we'll use that model to predict the unlabeled data set. Okay, so yes, we can see that it has got predicted 1252 are fake texts and real were 8. So we have reached the end of our code. Thank you everybody for bearing with me. Bye bye.